Everyone has a story. Some are whispered in the quiet of night, others echo across generations. But the best ones? They inspire, they challenge, they move us. Welcome to A Story to Tell, where history meets hope, where faith meets the real world, and where every tale points to something greater than ourselves. I'm your host, the storyteller, and in each episode, we uncover powerful, faith-filled stories of courage, redemption, purpose, and perseverance. Stories to steer your soul. Stories to share with your kids before bed. Stories you didn't know you needed until now. This isn't just another podcast. This is a story to tell. You know the man. You've read or heard of his books. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Around the World in 80 Days, Journey to the Center of the Earth. His imagination launched generations into the stars, the sea, the center of the earth, and beyond. Yes, you know the author, but now you will have a story to tell. Our tale begins in the year 1839 on the docks of Nantes, France. A boy of 11 stood nervously clutching a bundle of clothes and a heart full of adventure. His name, Jules Verne. He had just hatched a daring plan to run away and become a cabin boy on a ship bound for the West Indies. You see, Jules wasn't content with school books and church bells. He wanted the world. The sea called to him like a siren. So he snuck aboard a sailing vessel. Just like in one of his future novels, he made it as far as the Loire River before he was discovered, hauled back home, and scolded severely by his father. And that's when little Jules made a promise his father demanded and his mother made sure he kept. From now on, Jules, you'll travel only in your imagination. Well, he did. Years passed. His father, a respectable lawyer, insisted Jules follow in his legal footsteps. Jules obeyed, at least outwardly. He studied law in Paris, even passed the bar. But his heart was still sailing through galaxies and sunken cities. He scribbled stories in the margins of law books, wrote plays in his cramped apartment, skipped meals to buy ink. By day, he was a lawyer's son, but by night, he was building machines of the future. His stories were rejected, too fanciful, said the publishers, too childish. But Jules kept writing, and writing he did. And then one day, he met Pierre Jules Hetzel, a publisher with a taste for the extraordinary. Hetzel read 5 weeks in a balloon and saw genius. He offered Jules a contract, a lifeline. From that moment, Jules Verne's imagination was unleashed. He wrote of submarines before they existed, of rockets to the moon before mankind even dreamed it possible, of video conferencing, solar sails, skyscrapers, long before blueprints were drawn. But life wasn't all fiction and fantasy. Jules was shot by his own mentally unstable nephew and walked with a limp for the rest of his life. He suffered from cataracts, depression, and chronic pain. Still, he kept writing. Because that 11-year-old boy on the dock never really came home. He just found a new way to keep going. And while he never saw a man walk on the moon, the launch site NASA would later use, Cape Canaveral, was eerily close to the one Verne described in From the Earth to the Moon, written over a century earlier. He once said, "Anything one man can imagine, another can make real." And today, thanks to him, we know he was right. It reminds me of an old saying, those who see the invisible can do the impossible. So the next time you feel small, unheard, or misunderstood, remember Jules Verne, the boy who was told no by the world, and yet gave the world 1,000 yeses through the power of imagination. Dare to dream, create anyway, write it down, tell your story, because someone out there is waiting to be inspired by your imagination. As someone once said, hang on to your dreams, because if they die, life is but a broken winged bird that cannot fly. You know Jules Verne, the father of science fiction, but now that you know the rest of this story, you have a story to tell.